So let's talk about patrol rifles. This right here is my patrol rifle kind of preferred setup. If I was to have my own choice for a patrol rifle, duty gun, then it would be this right here. This rifle isn't the most expensive, and that's why I set it up. I thought, you know what can I do to set up a reasonably priced, good duty grade quality rifle? So this is it right here. And I basically took one of my AR-15s and tweaked it just a little bit. So I decided on this configuration. You may have seen this AR-15 in a few different configurations as of late. It's because I like to mess around and I try different configurations, but I'm kind of settling on this one right here. So Cyrac Ordnance upper, it has a stripped Anderson lower with velocity trigger and different parts on it. I think the only Anderson part is the stripped lower receiver. But this is a full Cyrac Ordnance upper receiver. Cyrac Ordnance doesn't make these anymore. In fact, I don't think they make uppers anymore. I think they make just piston kits. But in any case, this is a very solid AR-15. Great for patrol rifle usage. And what do I mean, first off, what do I mean by patrol rifle? I'm looking at it as far as law enforcement duties, close to mid-range, maybe 200 yards max, maybe 300 yards stretching it. But this is going to be more of a close-up gun, something for self-defense, something for active shooter response. And in my particular area, I work in an urban area, and there's also an opportunity to work in a wilderness type area where I live. So you can have a little bit of both, and I think this rifle would shine in both environments. So let's get started on just some things that I like about this particular setup, why this is quickly becoming one of my favorite AR-15 setups that I have right now. So we'll start with a muzzle device. This is a Smith Enterprises Vortex. The reason I went with this muzzle device is because the flash reduction is insanely good on this muzzle device. It's better than birdcage flash hiders. It'll stack up against any of the other flash hiders out there. It's not that expensive, but it's done extremely well. I think I prefer that over having a muzzle brake. This is a very straight recoiling gun. It's not super lightweight. It's not super heavy, but it's only a 5.56, so it shoots really flat. So I don't really need a muzzle brake or anything like that. I like a really good flash hider, so even in low light or no light conditions, I'm not going to be worrying about my muzzle flash kind of giving away my position. So moving on back, the light is just a stream light, just a basic stream light. I have the switch right here, and I know these switches, sometimes they have issues, but mine have worked okay. I haven't really beat mine up too much. If I was really worried about that, if this rifle was going to get banged around a whole lot, I would probably move the stream light over to this side and then just use the push button end cap on it and versus the switch right here. But ergonomically, I like the switch here. So that way I'm holding the rifle like this with my thumb pretty much indexed off of the rail right here. But then all I have to do is move my thumb over and I have usage of the light. So anyway, just a basic stream light light. Good light. The angled forward grip, Magpul angled forward grip. This is an old Gen 1 style. Now, there's a couple reasons why I like the angled forward grip. Not only is it a really good grip on this rifle, I have it kind of set up perfectly as far as distance. You can see there's still a little bit of an angle in my elbow, but it's set up perfectly, so that way I can really control the gun. And if I want to shoot over barricades, it has this notch or this flat spot right here that I can push up against a barricade, rest it on the handguard. I'm still not affecting the barrel in any way, and I can get a really solid rest. I really like that. The handguard, very, very thick handguard. It's certainly not a lightweight handguard at all. It's an old Daniel Defense Omega handguard. Really good stuff. They were discontinued, but I really dig it. The barrel underneath, this is more like kind of a SOCOM barrel profile, so it's not a lightweight barrel at all. I do like that in a patrol rifle. Some people might prefer to go with a lightweight pencil barrel. There's really nothing wrong with that, but one thing I noticed with pencil barrels, if you look at a pencil barrel under a slow-mo camera and you watch rapid fire strings, you're going to notice the barrel flexing and moving. That's just because the barrel's so thin and there's so much force acted on it every time you fire around. The barrel's going to whip a little bit. AK barrels do the same thing, but a heavier barrel moves less. I'm not saying there's no movement, but there's less movement when you have a more stout barrel. To me, that's going to translate to a little bit better accurate follow-on shots if you're shooting some really rapid fire. at longer distances, so I do like that. There is a trade-off. There's a little bit more weight to it, but that's okay in my opinion. Moving on back, got a standard Magpul sling with the sling hooked up near the rear versus the front of the handguard. That's just my preference. This optic, I've been testing for a little bit, and I'll be doing a review on this at some point soon. They sent this to me. This is a Hawk optic, 1:4 LPVO. So why did I go LPVO versus irons or like not a Holosun, an EOTech holographic sight or an ACOG or something like that? Well, I wanted to keep the rifle reasonably priced, something that's reasonably priced, and at the same time, LPVOs, they do have, especially this one, this is just a 1:4, so it's not a lot of magnification, but I do like the adjustable from 1x to 4x. I have it set on 1, and if I turn the dot on, basically what I have is a red dot. I have a red dot optic, and it's very quick on target. It's easy for me to switch to 4x really fast, so that way if I need a little bit of magnification for a close-up precision shot, which that is a thing, if we're talking even 50 yards on in, sometimes if you have, let's say you're going up against a threat that's partially concealed or mostly concealed, there's not a lot visible, it'd be nice to have some magnification. I can swap it to 4, take an aim shot, and then get that aim shot at close range. So I really like this optic. It's on a Warren mount. Warren mounts are basic mounts, but they're really well made. They're out of Oregon. I really like the Warren mounts. There's a lot of places in my area that sell these on the shelves, so I really dig the Warren mounts. If you haven't checked them out, be sure to check them out. They're good basic mounts. The internals of this gun, there's Radian parts on it. This was purchased with the Radian parts, so the Radian charging handle and the Radian selector here. I do like the 45 degree. I'm a really big fan of the 45 degree. That just gets things ready to fire a lot sooner as you're coming up. It's really ergonomic to hit that, and your thumb just indexes at that 45 degree mark right on the safety selector. And when you come off target, it's just a quick little movement to get right back to safe. So I really like this. This rifle came with this single point hookup, which I don't really use, but I'm not going to take it off. I'll just leave it on there. In the event if I ever do want to try a single point sling at some point, I'll do so. I did stake the castle nut myself. It wasn't staked, but I went ahead and changed that and staked it myself because I think that's important. I'm not going to change this configuration around. I know some people are saying, man, you got to throw an A2 stock on there. No, I want this is set up more like a patrol rifle, so I want the adjustable stock on here. The bolt is I forget this is kind of a enhanced bolt. It's made for austere conditions. And I don't know if you'll be able to see on the bolt face on the camera. It might be hard to see the bolt face, but it's a little bit cut a little bit different. I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember the manufacturer, but it's an awesome bolt setup. So that's what came in this upper. So I'm going to keep that as is. Standard AR kind of M4 style rear stock, but I do have, I did buy this with the extended kind of enhanced rubberized butt plate on here. This has nothing to do with recoil control, just more surface area. So I like to have a little bit more surface area on the rear of the stock. It helps with getting it into my, getting it indexed into my shoulder, into my chest a lot better. So I dig that. And then of course, you know, I have to throw a little Ranger band on there. The reason I have this band on, if you guys don't know, this is for sling management inside of a vehicle. It keeps the sling from getting caught up, and it's easy enough for me to loop my hand in and pull out, and it'll just pull that sling out from under that Ranger band, and then I can sling the rifle and be good to go. I do have this is an Umbrella Corp kill flash with a cover on it. And, you know, do I really need a flat, you know, something, an anti-reflective device on the front of this LVPO? Probably not, but it is a good protective piece to put on the front of the gun. It looks good. So that's kind of an optional. You don't really need it, especially if we're talking patrol rifle setup, but I like it. It doesn't really inhibit me as far as, you know, looking down the optic at all or anything like that, but it's just a good thing to put on there. If I do have to worry about glint or anything like that, that's a good deal. With that said, though, if I really want to be worried about glint, not only do I need to have this, but I need to have something for the light as well. Maybe I'll get something in the future. I don't know. It's not really a super big deal to me right now. So there it is. This is kind of like my setup right here. if I wanted to have kind of the perfect patrol rifle setup, this is pretty much if they said, hey, here's one gun that you can use every day, pick one, what do you want? I would grab this and go, this one right here, this is my setup. There's nothing really fancy about this setup. It's kind of old school in some ways. There's really nothing crazy. I don't have some fancy Hydra mount on it or any of the new stuff that's out for 2025, but these are downright built well and the parts are good. These types of rifles work. I know people call them, there's different columns. They call them recce rifles, whatever, recon rifles, general purpose rifles, all that good stuff. To me, this is just a good, solid, a little bit heavier than a standard lightweight AR, but it's still extremely well balanced. I'm still going to put the center of gravity right about there. Maybe just a hair forward. Actually, it's hard to try and hold it, but right about there is my center of gravity on this gun. So that's pretty much perfect, in my opinion. So swing's still good, all that good stuff. But anyway, there it is. Just wanted to show that to you guys. A very basic AR-15 that's done extremely well. I can fight in urban areas with this, rural areas, wilderness, up close, out to 300 yards, no problem. The reticle is just a standard cross reticle, and it has the center dot lit up. I'll go over that more when I do the review of that Hawk optic. But very good optic. So I don't have to worry about holdover or anything. I can just set a good zero that's good from contact distance out to 200 yards. So probably a 5200 or something like that, a good basic zero. And then if I take any longer shots, I can do my hold if need be. So there it is. Put in the comment section below, of course. I want to hear your guys' opinions on what you feel is a great patrol rifle, because I know there's a lot of different opinions out there in a lot of different environments, so it might differ a lot from this. You might look at me and go, man, you're full of crap. This is what you need to do, and that's fine. Put it in the comment section below. I encourage a lot of comments. So let me know what you guys think.